Hello YouTube, and welcome back to W140 Restorations. Today's video is a departure from what I've been doing for the past year or so, and not really working on Project Iona. But today we're going hunting for classic Mercedes parts. It's one of my favorite things, is to be in a junkyard. And having been in many different states, there are some great finds here in Florida. Today we're heading to Clearwater. A W140 popped up yesterday on a local junkyard site, and we're going to check it out. There's a few things that I'm looking for Iona, but I wanted to walk through with you all some tips and tricks when shopping for parts at a junkyard. So come with me in this beautiful Florida morning as we watch out for traffic and keep it at 2 and 10 and head to Clearwater to find some parts for Project Iona. Just delete this. So there's a few things to consider when looking for parts online. You can go to places like eBay, find a lot of stuff on eBay, but there's some things that you're not going to find on eBay, and there's some things that are just not made anymore. There may be one or two, there may be none available at your local Mercedes dealer. So I like going to junkyards, like looking at Craigslist and local Facebook to find parts that are close. I don't have space for a project car. I passed on one Wednesday. I was looking at one really close to me, old, beat down S500, and it really wasn't worth the trouble of buying it and trying to bring it back. Sometimes cars are just too far gone. But it would have been a wonderful parts car, but I don't have a place for it, and a lot of people don't. And storage is very expensive for storing a vehicle. And if you do to store a vehicle, if it's not running to begin with, then it's going to be hard to move it once you place it in the storage yard. So for me, not really an option. So I'm going to look for some parts. It may go without saying, but when you're going to look for parts, make sure you think through what you're looking for, write down a list, and then when you're getting ready to go, make sure you have all the tools that you're going to need, because one of the worst things that possibly happen is you get to a yard and find that perfect part that you need, but you don't have a 10mm wrench. But there might be things that you just didn't bring with you in your bag. Impact wrenches, if you forget your impact wrench, you're never going to get a set of wheels off. If you don't have some very fine small screwdrivers, you might not be able to get an interior piece off. So make sure when you're going, you know in advance what you're looking for, make a list, and then make sure you take the right tools with you to make sure you got everything you need to do to get the job done. Water, sunscreen down here in Florida, very hot, very quick, and no shade in the yard. So I'm wearing a hooded fishing shirt, sun shirt, to make sure that I don't get cooked while I'm out there, and brought water with me. And beyond that, make sure you're safe, make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, and keep tab on what tools that you take with you to make sure that you're bringing everything home that you took. I think one of the worst sinking feelings you could possibly have is realizing that you left a tool somewhere, whether it was in a junkyard, whether it was on a car you're working on. I know that I value my tools very much. I have built them over the course of a lifetime, and have a pretty good collection of tools, but each have a individual use and a lot of memories for turning wrenches and nuts and bolts with them. So make sure that you know what tools you're taking, and to make sure that you bring back the same tools with you. Just some top tips there. Also, if you're looking for big parts, you'll notice behind me there's a bunch of blankets and a bunch of towels. If I stumble upon something that I'm looking for, you never know, might bring it home on top of the old W140 Restorations tool truck here, and with some tie-down straps and some big blankets. I've had to do that before as well, and ask for help when moving some big parts. I picked up a spare hood. The hood that's currently on Project Betty came off of a Junkyard W140. So when I was first working on how to cut paint, how to polish paint, and how to clay bar and restore paint. I didn't go straight into my first W140. I used a project hood, so things like that. So make sure you've got all the tools for tying things down safely and securely if you're going to haul some big pieces out. Plus, have the appropriate vehicle. This is a large SUV, a lot of things that can fit in it, on top of it, and behind it, as I'm on the hunt for another project car as well, always. So let's keep it on 2 and 10 and 2 hands on the wheel, and we'll get over to Clearwater and take a look at the yard we're going to be searching for some parts today. While I'm sitting here at a stoplight waiting to turn, let's talk about junkyard etiquette. Not etiquette like fork on the left, knife on the right, work from the outside in sort of etiquette, but true junkyard etiquette. There may be one of one car in the junkyard that you're looking for. There may be multiples. But the unwritten rule for me is if somebody's working on that car, they got there first, it's theirs. If you have a 300 TD, there's a 303 TE sitting there, you're not going to be looking for engine parts. But if you're looking for other parts, it's their car, it's their first pick, they beat you to it. And sometimes you'll get to a W140 and it has been stripped bare. And sometimes you're the first one to get there, that car is yours. So for me, unwritten rule about whose parts are they. Now, if there's a small part you're looking for, like one interior piece, and you've been waiting for that, and you get there and somebody's working on the car, have that conversation. Hey, I'm looking for this piece. Are you interested in it? No? Okay, I'd like to take it. Sure, that sort of conversation. But it's not worth having a confrontation or getting into any sort of fight over stuff at a junkyard because you got there second. So get up, the early bird gets the worm, and see what you can get at your local yard. For me, it's pretty early, so I'm hoping that I'm the first one there and get some parts that I've been looking for, and parts just I know that are rare, which is I'm going to keep. So anyway, we're almost there. And now that we're here, know the rules. Generally, your local junkyard is going to have posted rules. Can I wear open-toed shoes? Absolutely not. Can I bring my kid and teach him a thing or two? Maybe. It just depends. So know the rules at the junkyard that you're going to. Many of them online have them posted so you can read them before you get there about kids, minors, however old your kid can be at the junkyard, and also what you can and cannot do. Can I bring a cutting torch? No. Can I bring a saw? Yes. Know what you're looking for and know the rules before you get here. And next, ask for a map. Ask questions. Ask for directions. The folks at the yard will tell you exactly what you need to know, and you never, ever know what you just might find. All right, let's get after it. 1995 Mercedes-Benz S320. Been sitting for a while. Been here less than 24 hours. Hood up. Appears to be 100% complete. These are always good to pick up. Hard to find, especially complete, not broken. Interior's been in the Florida sun, so it's going to be a little bit rough. It's a 95, so it's got the rear indicators, your backup indicators. Spare tire. You take all the batteries out of them. They take all the fluids out of them at this yard, and they cut the catalytic converters out of them. If you're looking for a catalytic converter, you may be way out of luck. Oh, look, both of these. Those are coming home. And we'll get into the interior. It's a 95, so it's got the two-piece sunroof on it. And it's metal. That's a... You can tell it's a pretty facelift. But yeah, not too bad a condition. Now if you're looking for parts, like a hood, like a grill, one small dent. These are not made anymore. This one's shot. Those are hard to find. But yeah, small nuts and bolts and covers if you're looking for them. Small things like that. If you're looking for original fuses, they're a wealth of parts. Door cards, door handles, you name it. More etiquette and things to consider. Just because I don't want the part doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't. So if you've been here and you don't need a part or anything that was already taken off, leave it for somebody else. It's really a kind thing to do, especially when you're working on these older cars. If there's something that you need, take it. If there's not, leave it for somebody else and try to leave it with the car. It's just a, hey, I've been here, I was taking care of the next guy who's going to be here sort of thing. And just something else to consider for junkyard etiquette. And also, there's other things that live here. Be on the lookout for wasps, snakes, or anything else that creeps or crawls or moves around, because there is wildlife around. You just have to be aware of it and be on the lookout for it while you're out here trying to find some W140 parts. Something else to consider. If you're taking off a part, make sure that it is Mercedes original and not from some off-brand or for some different country, but you want original stock parts with markings. And take the hardware. Sometimes it's really hard to find specialty screws that you don't know where to find a replacement, and little gasket parts. So make sure that you're looking at the entirety of the piece that you're looking to pick up, and also pieces that you may not want to pick up. Look at the climate control. Check this out. I don't know anybody that would want to take this on to put on part of their car. There might be a reason for that. If you have the working knowledge of these cars, you're going to understand that there's something wrong here. Yes. Don't know if you can see what it is, but that antifreeze is green. And to my knowledge, Mercedes never put green antifreeze in their cars. So if you're looking to buy engine parts, you might want to look at how well is the oil. Is it all milkshaked? How well is the antifreeze if I'm looking for cooling parts? Just things like that to consider. Hey buddy, I promise I don't want the hood. I'm just here to get some other parts. Like I said, there's things out here, gotta be on the lookout for them. And another tip, talk to the guys when you walk in. They just might have another W140 not listed on their website. Guess what? Hello, unlucky lady. Pre-facelift. I didn't look at the back. S500 or S420. No, could be a 400. But looky here. Things they don't make anymore. Things that you can't buy anymore. There's your headlight. Look at these. Gentle now. Gentle. Gentle. Come on, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, there we go. There's two of these, by the way. All right. Before I go look, what do you all think it is? It's a pre-facelift. We know it's a V8. But what size? And what model? Alright, let's look at the rear window. Alright, we got a rectangle. So we know it's an L because we know it's a pre-facelift. So 95 and before, couldn't tell you everything with the door handles, 96 only for the black one. Thank you very much to one of my subscribers for letting me know that. I was unaware. So we know it's not a 96. We know it's pre-facelift, so 95. Blue gray interior. We know it's a L because it's a long wheelbase. And what's it going to be? Any guesses? Go ahead and put your comments in and let me know. And the big reveal, there it is, 400 SEL. Oh, seen better days. All right, time to check out. It's hot. Glad I took a lot of water with me to stay cool while I was digging through some old W140s. Now, I asked and they kindly declined if I could videotape during the transaction process. They said no, which is fine, it's their business. Some mom and pop junkyards, they're not gonna care. Some are cash and carry. Here's how much it is, here's how much it is cash. And the bigger for-profit sort of junkyards are gonna check your bags when you first get there, go through everything to make sure there's no parts in your toolbox or tool bag, and then they're gonna check everything on the way out. And that's the type of junkyard that I was at today, or salvage yard, or recycling yard, whatever you wanna call them. So, with that, headed back across the bay, leaving Clearwater, head to the W140 garage, and we're gonna go through and see all the things that we got. All right, now that we're back home from the junkyard, the recycling yard, whatever you want to call it, I like to label my things, whether exterior pieces or interior pieces. I keep mine in bins to know what I've got and keep them straight. So, like I mentioned, there's things you're never going to find online because they're so specific and they don't have a part number. This is a rear bumper washer for a W140. I was missing one for Iona. So glad that I found this off the donor vehicle to fill out my parts for my toolkit for this little tool to help you put your wheels on. Little pieces that are so indescribable, but you know where they go to, like the shroud for your radiator and the little thin plastic cover for your radiator and horn assembly. These for Iona, unused ashtray and lighter for completing the inside of the W140. And then, as I mentioned, things that are no longer available. This is a trunk gasket for a W140. If you watched part 14 and 15 when I painted the rear bumper, you know that the one on Iona is kind of shot, but this one was in really good order. So just some tips for labeling your items and keeping them interior and exterior when you get home. With that, I hope you all enjoyed the video about some junkyard etiquette. And I enjoyed making it, enjoyed getting some things that I needed to keep in my storage for future projects and some current projects. And with that, please, if you like the content, like and subscribe. And I'm gonna leave y'all with a sneak preview of my next project car here on W140 Restorations. If you saw the short, and you know it's a V8, you know that the shock towers are different, and this is probably a dead giveaway if you know these cars from the 90s. It has one wiper blade, so you all can probably guess what my next project car is going to be.